What's going on, people? Ben here from Bateman Talks Tottenham, back with another video for Dad Paul.
Hello.
Where today we'll be previewing the Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge and what is a very difficult fixture for Spurs every season, with only about one win there in the last 33-ish years. We haven't won at Stamford Bridge for a long time. The only win we have had in recent history being that win where Dele Alli scored a brace in 2018, but Stamford Bridge has always been a tough place for us to go, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, Chelsea's game of the season, really, isn't it? Spurs at home. The atmosphere at Stamford Bridge is always probably their best of the season. Is always against us. I think they sing about us at the start of every home game, so it's what you expect, really. We are their biggest game, a little bit like West Ham. We're kind of their biggest game at home. Atmosphere, crowd gets up, players are up for it. And Chelsea, with a bit of an up and down season, with more downs than ups, it's a game that their players are going to want to win to get some of the fans back on their side, isn't it?
They will, but I think even though we lost the other day, there was a lot of really good play, and I think that should give us confidence to give it a go. Yeah,
very right. I think we were very unlucky to be 3-0 down despite the set pieces problems we had. I think we played quite well in the Arsenal game, and although both of our goals, you could argue, came from Arsenal making errors. You could argue that some of their goals came from us making errors, and we looked very threatening. We equalised at 1-0. Romero had those chances at 0-0 and 1-0, so the game could have gone very differently. And we, like you said, we had a lot of good moments in the Arsenal game, which proved that we can compete, while it's still annoying that it's a big derby that we've lost. And what it means for Arsenal winning that game. But going towards Chelsea, they sort of have a chance of Europa League, considering they've got games in hand on other teams. So they have got a chance of Europa League, which I suppose, considering they've been 10th, 11th, 12th at points of this season, they've kind of rescued it a little bit, haven't they? Despite they've still had some poor results, like 2-2 draws against Burnley, Sheffield United. So it's been a very, very up and down season for Chelsea under our old manager, hasn't it?
Yes, and they lost heavily to Arsenal, but they beat, was it Everton?
Yeah, Everton 6-0. Yeah, and then lose 5-0 to Arsenal. So but I think the Chelsea team that we play against tomorrow night is going to be a very different Chelsea team that have played recently. Thiago Silva's just announced he's leaving. You could see him scoring in this game to put his spell at Chelsea off on a good note, which is not what we want to see, but it wouldn't surprise me if it happens. Looking towards Spurs, Timo Werner and Postecoglou announced today is out for the rest of the season with a hamstring injury sustained in the Arsenal game, and that Ben Davies is also out for the rest of the season with a calf injury.
Two left backs down.
No Destiny Doggett or Ben Davies now. So do you think Mickey van der Ven will play there, or do you think Emerson Royale will slide at left back?
I'd like to see Mickey van der Ven there and drag us in the middle.
Yeah, I think what will probably happen will be Emerson Royale at left back, which I'm not sure how I feel about that in terms of him inverting into midfield. I don't think has worked too well when he's played at left back this season, but there's limited options we've got. It's a case of, do we want to move Van der Ven from centre back as well? Is a dilemma that Ange has obviously got to weigh in his head. The games we've got coming up, it's not ideal though, is it, with the games we've got? Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Burnley and Sheffield United. Not ideal to have this issue. Timo Werner is less of a worry, considering we've had other attacking players come back, like Richarlison, who's now back from injury. It does feel like once one comes back, the other one goes. But at least Richarlison is now back, and you'd expect him to probably play in this game, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I heard Ange talking the other day, and he said he will feature at some point. Probably not start.
So you'd like to think Richarlison is going to have a part to play. Whether Kulusevski or Brendan Johnson starting this game, I think from Kulusevski's performance against Arsenal, it would probably be Decky, and I think he deserves it, to be honest. James Maddison, do you think he starts? Not at the best form of play.
No, he's not. He was taken off towards the end against Arsenal. I think it's debatable.
And what about Pierre Mahoy? Do you think he'll start again, or do you think Yves Bissouma will, who I think performed fairly well when he came on against Arsenal?
I think Bissouma.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be Bissouma, and it's just a toss-up personally. I think if it's Pape Sarr or Bentancur, who knows, and we'll see what his decision is tomorrow night. But I think James Maddison, you'd expect him to start, but he's a player that you never know because he's not been in his best of form and hasn't been for a while. So yeah, it's going to be a makeshift defence at left back. Emerson Rowe or Mickey van der Ven, you'd imagine. But yeah, not the easiest game, is it?
No, but I'm reasonably confident.
What's your score prediction then?
Ooh, 2-1 to us.
2-1 to us. I'm going to go optimistic with a 2-2 draw.
Okay.
But I'm still not convinced on that, if I'm honest. So yeah, we've got to be hopeful for the game. We've got to be hopeful that the players want to bounce back from 2 losses on the spin. And yeah, not going to be an easy one. No. But look out for our match reaction tomorrow night or Friday morning. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, come on you Spurs!